He definitely don't want to deal with the situation. While the world is wanting justice for Nolan, Mississippi don't want no trouble because they know that Nolan was into Caucasian queens, and that's absolutely fine. Nolan like white women, and a lot of people believe that's the reason why they took him out. And when Brandon Tatum heard the news about Nolan and Katie, he took it upon himself to sweep everything under the rug. And there's a lot of brothers in Mississippi that like and married, involved in relationships with beautiful Caucasian queens, and they want to keep it that way. But if Nolan gets some justice, all of that is going to blow up. It could be all out war. And that's why I'm here to let y'all know there's a lot of black people in Mississippi that are fighting for Nolan's friends, that's protecting Nolan's friends, even though it's a possibility, allegedly, that they murdered Nolan Wells. Y'all need to listen at this.
See, here's a lot of things that the people in the back of the room don't know. Yes, us locals, we are privy to a lot of things because we know these people. I gave Nolan his first haircut. I know his parents. Been knowing him for years. Been knowing his mom since she was like in high school. I'm real good friends with her family. So here's the deal. When that video came out, and you hear them people on there talking that lady dug up and went and researched and brought up the sounds. The truth is this: if that video is legit, it's a few people in trouble. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Now see, this is the stuff that you gotta wait for. This type of evidence, right? Now, I'm gonna help you out here. Alright? I hear Bart and them parents are suing. Bart's name was mentioned on the video. Okay? Well, I asked one of his friends, who was a black guy, about Bart a few days ago. And they said that Bart was cleared already. And according to the black people, they cleared Bart. I don't even know if the police cleared Bart. But it sounds like the black people that's involved cleared Bart. They said Bart ain't had nothing to do with it. But Bart's name is all over that tape. But if these black guys are telling the truth, then guess what? You see why his daddy's suing. And that's what I'm saying, people. You can't just be so quick to just do this type stuff, man. This stuff take time, bro. Investigation. I'm gonna tell you something, man. By the time it's all said and done, half of Ocean Springs might be going to prison, or half of Ocean Springs might be going on a vacation. You don't know yet. So just chill. And like I said, I know these people. I know they family. All right, we all been knowing each other. So ain't nobody on here taking up for nobody. I'm not looking out. I'm not looking out for nobody on here. I'm only speaking what I think is best to be spoken to keep the peace until the facts come out.
You know what every entrepreneur tells themselves?
They let him be a part of Duck Dynasty. They let him in. He Mississippi down to the bone gristle. And they willing to die to protect their city, their state. The rest of America not gonna feel it, but they will, and they don't want to. The black people took it upon themselves to clear Nolan's friends. They don't already serve justice. They don't already swept it under the rug, ready to move forward. That's too bad for Nolan. He shouldn't have been out there on Horn Island, according to them. He shouldn't have been out there around all them peoples, hugged up, rubbing all on Katie. His friends couldn't take it no more. Y'all keep listening, man. And shout out to Mississippi. I did some research. I mean, we all heard about Mississippi being a racist state and everything, but a lot of black people in Mississippi are comfortable right now. They're enjoying the lives they're living in Mississippi. As long as they do right, they don't got nothing to worry about. As long as they're willing to give a blind eye to any and everything, it's going to be all right. They ain't got to worry about dying or getting set on fire or any of them horrible things, man. They know their history better than anybody. And they don't want no troubles. And can you blame them? It's people in Maryland talking crazy. It's people in Atlanta talking crazy. It's people in all these major places talking crazy. Still dealing with discrimination, but it's different in Mississippi. So when you hear this man speak, we're going to listen to what he got to say. But y'all got to understand, they country to the bone. And they don't want no smoke, no war, because they're loving their lives in Mississippi right now. Listen to this.
Gave Nolan his first haircut. He knows the family. So, Mr. Cuttenwith, welcome. Thank you for joining the Don Lemon Show this morning. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm glad to be here with you. Just to clarify something, the Cutting With, that's my social media name, Cutting With E. So you could my first name is Emmanuel, but that's my social media, Cutting With E on YouTube and IG and Facebook and all of that. But I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
So talk to me about, thank you for clarifying that. But we want to make sure that you get people know who you are, that they are on your social media and they watch because you have some good stuff. And also, if they're there, that they, give you some business. I think that's fair in this, especially in this environment that we're in. So talk to me, Emmanuel, how do you know Nolan? Let's start with how you know Nolan Wells and his family.
Okay, well, I've been knowing his mom since she was like in high school and whatnot. But I came, and his stepfather, we still work out in the same gym together right now. And I came to know Nolan through his, she had this lady babysitting him, and I'm real good friends with her son, Bingo. And they would bring him around, bring him to my barbershop all the time. And I gave him his first haircut. And we used to have him to say, every time he would leave, we would say, "What's your name?" And he would say, "Nolan Wells." And we all used to laugh at it. We used to make him say his name every single time, man.
It's fucking bullying, man. He think that's funny? Teasing that boy because his mama dropping him off with random people. What do you mean it was a babysitting lady? What his mother had going on? Was she chasing her husband? Who's Nolan's father? She left Nolan with the babysitting lady, and that lady would take Nolan to get his first haircut? That's something a mother or a father supposed to do. The babysitting lady took him to get his first haircut. She been leaving him with strangers his whole life? No wonder he was comfortable getting on that boat with them boys. Wait a minute.
He was a funny little kid, man. That was what was up, though. But yeah, that's how I came to first know him,
Yeah. And over the years, you watched him grow up?
Yeah, I watched him grow. I didn't see him for a period of time. And then he became a football player. And I used to go to his games and watch him play all the time. And, and his dad was a football player as well out of Morris Point. He went up to Mississippi State. And so I knew he was going to be a stellar athlete. You know what I'm saying? His dad working with him every day the way he was, everybody that come through his dad's training and stuff like that, all be pretty good athletes, And Nolan wasn't no difference. He was good. He was a great athlete. Had NFL potential, man. Had the right size and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Wait. So you mean to tell me that Nolan's stepdad was training boys in the community like dogs? Hold on. Nolan stepdad. So he had a kennel going on around there. He trained all the black boys to be football studs. Hold on, Nolan Wells. So he the head Negro in charge. when it comes to playing recreational sports. Can't read, that's okay. Can't write, that's okay. Bad at math, that's all right. But what I need you to do, young man, is to knock that nigga's helmet off and run with this football. So that's what he all about. Those sports and beers. And he played sports, and there's nothing wrong with that. But did he warn Nolan about being with them Caucasian queens? Or did he encourage it? That's the coaching that he was needing real bad, especially in Mississippi. This dude looking like he's still remembering the day when Nolan was all over Katie's cheeks and they couldn't stand it. Listen at this.
So what is it like there? Wait, hold on. Before I get there, do you know the other kids involved? Do you know some of the friends?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead. How do you know them?
Well, with the recent ones that was on like TMZ, I spoke with him Friday night. I know one of the white guys and one of the pitchers, where it's quite a few of them, not one of the three on the boat. They were all in a collective group there. And me and his father, we're very good friends. We get up and have lunch about 2 or 3 times a week currently. Listen, man, I want to say this to you. I know it's probably not following your questionnaires, but that is a problem that we're having here. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of blacks right along with a lot of whites that are having this problem. Mm. When Ben Crump and Al Sharpton came to our state, I think one thing they did wrong was you can't come down here and start saying that our state is prejudiced. This is prejudiced place. This is the state that lynched and killed Emmett Till. Well, that was 71 years ago. And Emmett Till was killed for looking and whistling at a white woman. These days, it's so many blacks having babies with white people. White men are marrying black women down here. We have so many sandy brown haired mixed babies running around down here. We are a gumbo down here. And another thing, Don, is we are a military community. Mm-hmm. That's how we got here. My dad is originally from Louisiana and my mom's New Orleans. And my dad was military. That's how I got here, through Keishler. And so we have Navy bases here and Air Force bases here. That's what.
Oh, don't fuck up the pot. They like that gumbo just the way it is. It got a nice seasoning to it. And they don't want nothing messing up the flavor. Sometimes you gotta take a L. Sometimes things go left, you gotta spit them bones out and keep on eating the stew. Ain't this about it? He willing to fight and protect to keep things just the way that they are. He said it's a bunch of sandy-haired babies running around here, so that lets you know what's happening in them bedrooms at night. Oh, come on, Tyrone. Come on, here I come, Sandy. Here I come. What's really going on in Mississippi? He come out sniffing. Oh, that's that interracial booty right there. Oh, yeah, Mississippi, baby. That's how they like. If that's how they like it, I understand. But Nolan is dead. They don't want no justice behind that. Now we need to see who his wife is. This explains why Officer Tatum flew down there to put a stop to this and to sweep this under the rug, because he trying to protect his situation. Because if Nolan gets some justice, they gonna snatch Officer Tatum's wife clean up out his arms. And before he let that happen, he gonna let them boys slide. He love his family. He love his situation. He willing to go to war to protect what he loved. Just like that man that just got done talking. They do not want nobody to fuck up the sauce, or else they gonna have to go back to sisters. And they collectively said, hell no. That's what this shit is all about, man. It make perfect sense. If Nolan had to go, Nolan had to go. He should have kept his hands to himself until he was alone with the woman. Oh, this is getting out of hand. Okay, let's get back into this. Y'all ready? Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Here we go.
What we are. And it's a gumbo. Everybody.
Hold on. I need to run that back a little bit. I do apologize. Listen.
White men are marrying black women down here. We have so many sandy brown haired mixed babies running around down here. We are a gumbo down here. And another thing, Don, is we are a military community. That's how we got here. My dad is originally from Louisiana and my mom's New Orleans. And my dad was military. That's how I got here, through Keishler. And so we have Navy bases here and Air Force bases here. That's what we are. And it's a gumbo. Everybody, white people, try their best to not ruffle the feathers of black people, and black people try their best not to ruffle the feathers of white people for the majority of it. So when Ben Crump come to this town and start saying things like that, he's alienating these people and he's getting pushback now. That's why he's getting all this pushback. And it's going to me, it's hurting the whole entire investigation, which is why he's probably not getting a lot of help from people. To me, that's the deal. You cannot come in here and tell us how racist we are. Well, these people showing you how they hate you doing that type of stuff in our community, and he's going to get this type of pushback that he's getting.
Okay, can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, look, I'm from Louisiana, so I know there's lots of mix. I mean, we are all, that's what Creole and mulatto is about. We've been mixing it up. We invented mixing it up in Louisiana, so I understand what you're saying. But that doesn't end racism. Sometimes it heightens it, right? Because then there's a hierarchy, and then there's colorism, and then people say, well, I can't be racist because I'm married to a white person or whatever, or I'm married to a black person, and we know that that's not true. The other thing that sounds like, though, and I just want to put this here, I'm not trying to insult you, is like, it kind of sounds like back in the civil rights movement when people would say these outside agitators are coming here and telling us what to do and we don't want race mixing here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I understand how people may feel, but sometimes, I just want you to take this into account. Sometimes it takes, and I'm not saying they're doing this, but just to think about this, sometimes it takes someone who comes from the outside to hold up a mirror so that you can see what's happening, because sometimes you're too close for the forest to see the trees. All right.
Okay.
Damn, he trying to let him know. Snap out of it. They all under a trance. They don't want no troubles. And I get it, man. If I lived in Mississippi, I wouldn't want no trouble neither, because first of all, the black folks there is not going to help you. You do not have an army. Even if you're in the right, you still wrong. So why would anybody want to rock the boat? Thank God I ain't in Mississippi. And for the people that, I know everybody there is not like that. You got people in Mississippi that's ready to fight regardless. But for the majority, collectively, they're not on that time. Don Lemon trying to let him know, hey, maybe it take for somebody from the outside to come in and wake y'all up so y'all can see that this is wrong, but they don't want to be woke. They want to keep on surviving and living the way. That's all they know. That's why this Nolan Wells situation, it's a done deal. They got a hotline. Nobody's calling the hotline. Because as soon as somebody call, Ben Crump going to get on stage stuttering, put their whole info, their whole social out there, put a picture up, let everybody know who it is. And before you know it, it's going to be another investigation going on.
So I'm not saying that that doesn't exist, that people shouldn't feel that way, but I think that people should have an open mind about it because
we do.
that's what civil rights leaders did back in the day.
Well,
okay, go
we
on.
do. I'm for them coming to find justice, but you cannot walk into this town claiming it's racism. All these same state that killed Emmett Till, these racist white people. When that eulogy, I was at the funeral. That eulogy had to be, and just so I set it up, you know, you can see this is his obituary. So that eulogy had to be the hardest eulogy for Al Sharpton. When you walked in his church and you saw 30% of the church is white. These are his friends. These are all the people he hang out with. Here's what I'm saying, Don. It's like in this generation, it's like we're still charging cases like we're in the 60s when something happens here. I'm not saying a white man did not kill Nolan. What I'm saying is,
well, we don't know that. I'm not going there.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying it could be over something else. It may be over a girl. Why does race have to lead every time? Why are we leading this investigation with race? Because that's where you're upsetting everybody. It's when you're saying race, when he's been hanging with them same white guys all his life. And
I have an explanation for you about why, possibly. Because when the photographs came out initially, it was just Nolan with all white people, right? And he's and so the world, this is not just Ben Crump. The family asked Ben Crump to come in. It's not like he volunteered to do this, okay? So, and not that I'm defending Ben Crump. I'm just sort of explaining to you why why people think race is involved or why it's involved. First of all, let's just be honest, Emmanuel. We know the history of the country. We do know the history of Mississippi. And one of the best indicators of what the present is and possibly the future is the history, right? Of something, the history of your medical thing. You heard Al Sharpton say that at the funeral. When you go into the doctor and you say this hurts.
The hell with that. Emmanuel wants some of them biscuits, man. He don't give a damn. He want to be the front runner to let them people know that he's a good one. And he is. And that's all right. Emmanuel want extra butter on his biscuits. Now's the time to cash in. He know this one, he know that one. He been scheming and dreaming on how he gonna come up with some of that bread. Mission accomplished. And now he famous. You go ahead, Emmanuel. Everybody cashing in. The Nolan Wells lottery. Get your ticket. He done figured out a way to get in front of them cameras. Hey, we made it. And he ain't got to worry about buying no fried steaks. When he hit up the diner, it's on the house. There go Emmanuel, look at his badass. They're gonna invite him to the country club. He the king round there. He probably ain't gotta pay no taxes in Mississippi. Good job, Emmanuel, good fucking job. He down with the Duck Dynasty. Hey man, the groceries ain't gonna buy themselves. The bills not gonna pay themselves. Them girls, they gonna get freaky with themselves. But Emmanuel would like it if he was the one. And now that's a possibility. Okay, let's move on a little bit. We're gonna take a little detour and then we're gonna come back. Because people hate Emmanuel's guts. But there's also people that love him. Y'all gotta listen at this.
What's up? This is the Miss Knockout Show. All right. I got some breaking news in the Nolan Wells case. All right. And he's giving us a little insight on what's going on down there in Mississippi. Even though we can't see it, there's some movement in this case. All right. Now, I want to give my disclaimer. Everything in this video is all alleged. There are no names being mentioned. And the Miss Knockout Show is not passing this off as fact. Because we simply don't know.
Yo, get out of here. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. It's too much clout chasing on here, man. It's going to be about you or Nolan Wells. You about Nolan Wells. You or Nolan Wells. Get out of here, yo. Let's keep it moving. Let's find somebody that's not clout chasing that really got some news. Okay, here we go. Come on.
What we got? We know from the phone call that Nolan was on that boat. We know Nolan was on that boat. We heard what was going on that boat. Mississippi officials are trying to cover up what we heard on that boat.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mississippi, we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop. Oh, we need action. We need prosecution. We need a thorough investigation. We're not stopping because we know. We heard it. We heard it. You heard it. What they did to Nolan. They were trying to wake Nolan up. We heard everything. We heard everything. Mississippi, we here. We coming. We coming. Just know we coming. And we coming with Nancy Grace.
She said she coming with Nancy Grace, and Nancy Grace gonna have y'all sweeping and mopping her motherfucking floor. They coming with Miss Nancy. Like, you girls line up over there, and I need you to pick that up, pick that up, pick that up, and pick that up. And then we're gonna deal with Nolan. I need you girls to get out the pots and pans, and we're gonna make a feast, and then we're gonna deal with Nolan. Get out of here with this bullshit, man. She put a flower in her hair, got dolled up. Hopefully she find a man while she's speaking about Nolan Wells. Hopefully it's some interested fella. Whoever gave her them 2 black eyes, he need to be worried. Cause she about to find herself another man in the name of Nolan Wells. Okay, it must be time for me to go. Cause I try to keep this as respectful as possible for as long as I can. Matter of fact, let's just get back into this news. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get back to this.
Or I have this ailment, and they go, what medication are you taking? What's your family's medical history? Okay, so you have that history in Mississippi. Not everybody lives in Mississippi. And so the people who are on the internet, the people who don't live in Mississippi, they see a black guy with all white guys and they go, oh, he's the only one that didn't come home. The history of Mississippi, blah, blah, blah. So people start putting 2 and 2 together, and that's why race is involved in this, because that is the history of America. Now, whether race played a role in his demise, no one knows that. No one knows that. But there is no denying that race plays a part in this case simply because of the optics. That's where the race part came in. That may be offensive to some people there, but the truth is often offensive. That is the reality in America. Yeah, yes, sir. You can ask me. We're here to have a conversation.
Okay. When Emmett Till was killed in 1955, I believe it was, he died for whistling and simply looking at a white woman. Now we have went from there to making babies with these white women. When does that go out of the window for, as you know, this racial component of Mississippi history?
Oh, you dumbass nigga. They was making babies back then. You make it seem like mixed people just came into the picture after Emmett Till. Hell, Emmett Till family was light-skinned at it. They've been making babies since slavery. What is he talking? Before then, there's whole nationalities based off of interracial dating. Whole countries. He can't be serious. He just want to keep it going. He got lust on his mind. When he closes his eyes, all he sees is a big fat white booty. He's sick. They need to check his computer, man. because that's his only argument.
Years ago, how can we accept that history when it comes to simply looking at a white woman? Now we have went from there to making babies with these white women. When does that go out of the window for, as you know, this racial component of Mississippi history years ago? How can we accept that history when it comes to
you can accept it by acknowledging the problem. You accept it by acknowledging the problem and acknowledging the reality of the history of the country.
Right.
You accept it by saying, I understand why people think race is involved. I understand why. I
understand why people do it, but what I'm saying is it a fair assessment for us?
Of course it's a fair assessment.
We have nothing but a bunch of we have nothing but mixed kids running around down here.
But just because you have mixed kids, because you have mixed kids, it doesn't mean that you're not racist.
But Don, it doesn't mean that dying now. Back then they died for looking at her. Now we're sleeping with them and having kids and nobody's dying.
One thing. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Oh, they're dying, brother. They dying every day. This nigga's in jail. They getting killed all the time, man. It might not make it to the news, but people will put another reason on it. But it's plenty of brothers dying every day for being caught in the wrong or the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person. You got brothers dying for being with black women. Hispanic people will kill a brother for being with their women. All across the world, man. He can't be serious with this stuff.
Daniel, do you know why Nolan died or how?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right.
So I'm for an investigation. That's why I said I'm for Al and them coming here and investigating. But Don, what I'm saying is I don't think he should have led with this strong.
He obviously know why Nolan Wells died, because he keep on talking about it. It had everything to do, I feel like, allegedly, it had everything to do with Nolan being with Katie. The news done circulated around Mississippi. They know what time it is. And he's addressing it up front because he don't want this to be blown out of proportion because he was with a Caucasian woman, because they got so many mixed babies down there. He don't want to stop that from going on. He don't want them to shut that down. But he not going to admit, he not going to say the reason, because he don't want to be the whistleblower and all of this.
Dying now. Back then they died for looking at her. Now we're sleeping with them and having kids and nobody's dying.
One thing. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Emmanuel. Do you know why Nolan died or how?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right.
So I'm for an investigation. That's why I said I'm for Al and them coming here and investigating. But Don, what I'm saying is I don't think he should have led with this strong racial, the same people who killed Emmett Till. And I mean, that was almost 100 years ago. And we're now sleeping with white women, and white men are now sleeping with black women, creating babies with these people, man. I mean,
but that doesn't mean that racism. I think that your idea of what racism isn't necessarily calling people the N-word or beating them up. It is a system that is based on superiority and history and present, and sometimes people who are in relationships with people of a different ethnicity or a different background, they still have not dealt with racial issues. And sometimes, sometimes the love for people of a different ethnicity is a similar love, especially for blacks and whites, all right? Especially of a certain generation. It's the same sort of love that you have for a pet, where you are, I'm serious, where you love them, you protect them, you pay for everything, but it doesn't mean it's the same love that you have for a human being. It's kind of that, okay, I understand that. In America, the reason that we have this is because we don't deal in a fulsome way with race. We're not honest about it. And we think that racism is something where it is overt. It's not always overt. And there are people who came up through the civil rights movement, and people who were discriminated against, they're still here. And the people who were part of the Klan, there's a huge Ku Klux Klan contingent in this country. There are people who are part of the Proud Boys who said that they're racist. There are people part of the new neo-Nazis. They say they are racist, and they are open with it. So, and a lot of that comes from the South, from Louisiana, where I am, and from Mississippi. And if you go there, if you know, if I can drive 5 minutes from where you are and find a person who's involved in one of those groups.
But they let us sleep with their women, man. That's all that matter, brother. They let us sleep with their women. That's all this dude care about. He don't give a fuck. As long as he can slide with one of them women's, he all right with it. He don't give a fuck, man. And that's how a lot of brothers feel about it. They don't give a damn about the black race. They trying to create a whole nother situation, man. He's sick. Mississippi, y'all gotta let me know what's going on. Y'all really fighting for Nolan friends? Y'all really trying to keep the situation going, even though y'all know the reason why he died and the reason why his friends allegedly took him out. Y'all just want to be more discreet. Don't pass no laws, but they don't want them problems, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. I had to let y'all know that there's black people in Mississippi doing everything in their power to protect Nolan Wells' friends, man. Y'all get over to Don Lemon and watch the rest of it. I just wanted to give y'all a little touch of how I felt about it. And I'm looking in the comment section to see how y'all feel about it. So much love for y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button too. I'ma holla at y'all on my next video.